Newspaper article Black Indians Forgotten American Culture by Charles Hillinger, 1975 Los Angeles Times. Haskell, Oklahoma. There was a knock on the door of Charles Davis. Chinda, called out by the 92-year-old black man. One of the two black men on his front porch replied, Umba Sichia. The preacher opened the door and welcomed his two friends into his home. He greeted the men with the Creek Indian language, Chinda, who is it? They answered, Umba Sichia. We've come to eat, a traditional response of Creeks when visiting friends. Why the Creek language? The three men are Black Indians of Creek Indian and Negro blood. There are thousands of Black Indians throughout the United States. In Delaware, they are known as the Forgotten Moors. In Louisiana and North Carolina, Redbones. Davis, for the past 30 years, the pastor of the First Baptist Church of Haskell, 15 miles south of Tulsa, is one of approximately 1,000 Creek freedmen. The Black Indians are called in northwestern Oklahoma. Creek Indians brought their Negro slaves with them when they moved from Georgia and Alabama to Indian Territory in 1836, said Davis. Yes, Indians had slaves just as the whites did. The whites traded slaves to the Indians for Indian land in Alabama and Georgia. Creek Indians were very fair with their slaves. They treated them kindly. Many Creeks intermarried with Negroes. Equal shares. When the Creeks divided their land to families after 1906 in Oklahoma, their slaves and children and grandchildren of slaves were given equal shares. Black Indians and Creek Negroes who never intermarried with the Indians were all given the same allotments as full-blooded Creeks, Davis said. Every man, woman, and child got 160 acres. The Black minister has a recollection of the day the allotments were made. I was a teenager at the time. I can remember when the tribal chief commended us to take the land. They were just like one of us. There was no hesitation, no argument. The chiefs meeting in the old council house consented all of us as Creek Indians. To this day, many families are on the Creek tribal rolls are Black with no Indian blood, or are Black Indians. Helpers. Negro slaves were helpers more than slaves to the Creeks, said the old minister who is revered by Blacks and Indians alike throughout Oklahoma. Creek Indians were nomads. They knew nothing about farming when they came to Indian Territory. It was the Blacks who taught them about farming. The Blacks built log cabins instead of wigwams and dug their first wells. And it was the Blacks who converted the Creeks to Christianity. They, the Indians, believed in the sun god and moon god before they had slaves. Davis lamented the lack of knowledge on the part of most Americans, Black or white, about Black Indians. You won't read it in the history books, he declared. And the sad part, most young people don't know it. I mean, most of our own Creek Freedmen kids don't even know it.